Finally, Ken Holland makes a move. Finally, he does something that is worthy of us to talk about. He actually makes two big moves today, which I'm pretty excited about. He definitely had a freaking cap space up to it for it, but we're going to show you why he did this. So let's move over and we'll jump over to the next screen. Here we go. So we have Puliujarvi, $3 million acquired by the Carolina Hurricanes, and then Edmonton Oilers are taking prospect Patrick Pasculia. Let's knock out Patrick real quick. It'd be nice and easy. 22-year-old. He's a prospect. It's just his signing rights, so he doesn't have a contract yet. But again, if the Carolina decides they want to sign him, they can. Drafted 3rd round, so no big deal. He's playing. He's playing in the Finland Liga. No, I think it might be Sweden. Is he Swedish? No, he's Finnish. So I believe it's Finnish league. Doing well. 38 points in 56 games. He is a forward, so he's doing well. 24 points in 54 games last year. You're correct. Yeah, I know that one. That's I believe that's the one who was first overall that Canadians just got. Oh, I can't think of his name. They're really tall. He's kind of a jerk. I can't think of his name. It wasn't Shane Wright. Oh my goodness, it'll kill me. Anyways, that he played in that league. That's who it is. So, so that's it. So that's the kid. They have the signing rights. If they want to sign him, great. If they don't, no big deal. Puliujarvi, again, this guy, he is on last year of his contract. So I'm excited for him to get a fresh start. I actually honestly wanted the Red Wings to take a flyer on him. Look at how happy this guy is. 4th overall. You don't get drafted that high without being like kind of good, right? Like he was, and he still is playing good. You can actually see he's playing all right. Like, so you can see. Maybe not this year. 14 points in 58 games, and I think they tried putting him with McDavid, but pretty much anyone can play with McDavid and do all right. But unfortunately, it's just not working out. He just needs a reset. I think he just needs to get out of Edmonton and just start figuring out what he needs to do to be successful. So I'm excited for him to get this fresh start. I think Carolina's a great system. It's a nice protective system. Put him on the 3rd line. Put him on the 4th. Put him on the 3rd line. Let him just marinate down there and let him just get his confidence back. We know it's a confidence thing. So let him get his confidence back, and then he'll come back and make some moves, man. I mean, I think this guy has a lot of potential. You can see he has a lot of potential. Look, you see 53 points, 56 games, right? 12 and 16. The 20 and 65 isn't that great. But again, confidence. 28 and 39. Like this kid, he has a lot of ability. I think the Oilers they grinded him down, and they couldn't. Unfortunately, he needed to prove himself, and he just didn't. The nice thing is you can see up here in the contract status right here, RFA, restricted free agent. If you don't know, which means that Carolina retains the rights, and they can decide whether they want to sign him or not. If they don't, he goes to UFA status. He can go sign wherever he wants. But if he says, hey, you guys have a lot of Finns, and the Carolina Hurricanes do, they have a ton of Finnish players, I think he's going to fit in really well with their culture, and I'm excited for him to just kind of get integrated into their system. I don't know why I'm doing this dance, but I feel like I'm feeling it, and I think Jesse's feeling it too. Yes, he's feeling it as well. So, again, that's one of the big moves, and they moved on like cap space so that they can acquire Mattias Ekholm. So they retained Mattias Ekholm from the Nashville Predators. Only 4% retained, but I think that because of that 4%, they ended up getting that 6th round pick. So the Oilers, they get Ekholm, which, by the way, that name popped up out of nowhere recently, as opposed to Chychrun. I know Chychrun was a bigger price. And so you could see who they had to move out. So you have essentially you're trading out Tyson Barrie for Mattias Ekholm. So they're swapping spots. As you can see, Tyson Barrie, defenseman right here, 31-year-old defenseman. Mattias Ekholm. And then you have Reed Schaefer he is a prospect. You have a 1st round in 2023 and a 4th round in 2024. So we'll jump over through Mattias Ekholm real quick. He is actually, the nice thing about Mattias Ekholm, he's on this is his 1st year of his contract, and he is going to be with the Oilers for a while. So this works out in the Preds' favor because they're able to move out this contract that's pretty big, and they're about to go through a retool. So since they don't have to worry about this contract anymore, they're like, hey, we can move this money out. That's no big deal. And now you have this Ekholm who can just go and he can I mean, you have a defenseman, right? You have a relatively, I wouldn't say low paid, right? Because I guess low in comparison to Darnell Nurse. He is older, right? Ekholm, I think he's like 32. 32, yeah, he's 32 years old. So older, not that old. I'm 32, not that old. And so, but they have an established defenseman now for a while, and hopefully he can stay healthy. So, and let's go to his stats real quick. Again, Nashville's not playing that well. 18 points in 57 games. So he's doing all right. He's never been a huge. You can see he's never been a huge point putter upper, but he does do. Look at all this playoff experience. By the way, 2014 to 2022, all playoff experience, right? That is super valuable to a team like the Nashville Predators. By the way, they also, you can see right here in 16-17, right here, 22 games, that was the year that Nashville went to the Stanley Cup Finals. So, and by the way, you know who has not done that? Connor McDavid. Connor McDavid has not been in the Stanley Cup Finals, which is wild to me. So you're bringing a guy that has that mentality. He knows how to get there. He's been there. He's been, the cup's been close. I mean, not that close because they didn't do that well, but they were still competitive. And it gives them an extra defenseman to be working with. Next, and again, now we're going over to the Nashville Predators side. Tyson Barrie is moved over, right? Full contract Tyson Barrie. This one he is now again. You're switching over defenders, right? So the benefit of this is you can see that they have Tyson Barrie for this year, the rest of this year, and then next year, right? So essentially, what Nashville's doing is they're paying $4.5 million just next year, right? And they want to sign him, great. If they don't, no big deal. They got out of Matthias Ekholm's contract, so now they're retaining 4%, so that's $250,000. But they're retaining $6 million, $6 million, $6 million, right? So that they traded. It gave Edmonton Oilers $16 million. And now they only have to spend $4.5 million, plus they got a first-round draft pick out of that. Of course, they got the better player, but that's the kind of mentality that some of the GMs think. Is they say, okay, with dollars in, dollars out, what does it look like long term? Financially, right? Tyson Barrie struggled this year. Originally drafted by Colorado. You can see doing fine. Actually, he's doing better than I thought. Oh my goodness, look at this. 43 points, 61 games. He's actually on a better pace than last year, but the year before not as well. He's actually doing pretty well. I think this is a pretty good move for Nashville, just getting a body in there to be able to help with the retool. And again, he's signed till next year, so a veteran presence to be able to show the younger guys that you're going to be bringing up and you're going to be drafting how to play the game and how to get them prepare for the next year. Speaking of that younger players that you're going to be bringing in over the next couple of years, you have Reed Schaefer, left wing, 19 years old, just a budding young, I wouldn't say star. I would say he's signed, right? So he's a prospect. He's 19. He's young, so that's no big deal. But he's on an ELC right now, and he has 3 years left. So again, prospect, and he will be an RFA at the end of his contract. You can see drafted in the first round look at that, their first round pick that they got from Arizona, I believe. Look, he's got 47 points in 44 games, so over a point per game, 58 points in 66. With the Seattle Thunderbirds, WHL, look at they did go to the Stanley Cup. Oh, or looks like they went in the playoffs. They went pretty far in the playoffs, honestly. I don't know if maybe he won? Did he win? Does it tell? I don't know if it tells us. That'd be really cool. I wonder if we go to Cap Friendly if it shows it. Does it show his wins? Oh my goodness. That'd be so cool. I don't see him. It's a bummer. But anyway, either way, again, prospect, you don't know what he's going to turn out to, but he is a former first overall pick. So potentially works out. Hopefully he does. And I think this is a really good move for the Predators. Getting kind of a reset, you rebuild, not a full tear down rebuild, but you are getting pieces. You're starting to move out some of those bigger contracts. I think they said Saros, Forsberg, and Yossi are the ones that they'll be keeping. And so this gives you an idea. This gives you an idea of what they're trying to do and they're doing it well. They're moving out those contracts that are a little bit, they're moving out desirable players that have value that people want. So great move by the Nashville Predators. I'm proud of them. I think Edmonton needed this defensive move. We all knew they were looking at Chychrun. So this is a good move. I'm excited. Let them go. Let them rip. Get out of here and just do some damage in the get McDavid to at least the Stanley Cup Finals, because he went to the conference finals. He needs to go to the Stanley Cup Finals, at least have be within the grasp. If McDavid goes without getting a Stanley Cup, that will be one of the biggest tragedies of the NHL. I'll be pissed. I will go down swinging. Get into a Stanley Cup Finals. Anyways, hit like, subscribe. Love you.